Hey everyone, it's Jason and this is your cruise news update. And Carnival Cruise Line has shocked their passengers with a significant beverage price increase. We have an update on the new proposed taxes by Mexico on cruise ship passengers, and unfortunately, it's not looking good. And if you're doing this on your cruise, please stop. It's gross. So cruise story number one, and what do you think the cruise lines will do with this? Because if you have a cruise booked to Mexico for next year, it may have just gotten more expensive. So we've been hearing these rumors that Mexico was going to start charging $42 per person per port, extra. And it was supposed to go into place in 2026. And most people, including myself, kind of blew it off saying, I'm sure Mexico and the cruise lines will get together and agree to something. Well, yesterday, the Senate now approved it. So unless the president of Mexico vetoes this, this will go into effect starting in 2025, almost immediately. And that's a big problem for the cruise lines because they're going to be left scrambling. Now, I've reached out to Princess. I have another couple cruises booked with other cruise lines asking them what they will do. And they all said, we're not sure what we're doing right now. We are evaluating the situation. Will they stop visiting Mexico next year? And the reason why I say they have to make basically a stand or they have to act is I know many people might not think it's that big of a deal. But if they allow Mexico to go to $42 per person extra, and they've already added another $5 in Cozumel and Costa Maya, so really it's $47 per person extra this year, or next year. Well, then what happens to Jamaica? What happens to other places throughout the world? Are they going to push back and say, well, we want to see more port taxes also? Because this money isn't going back into port infrastructure. It's not going back into anything. It's going back into the Mexican military because they oversee port operations in all of the Mexican ports. And there is a huge deficit in Mexico. Do you think the cruise lines will act? What do you think they'll do? Let me know in the comments. So cruise story number two, and if you buy the beverage package on your Carnival cruise, it just got more expensive. So this is for sailings 6 days and longer. And if you pre-buy it, the Cheers package, it's $70.74 with the 18% gratuity included. Well, now it had its increased to $82.54 per day with the 18% gratuity, and that is a 16% increase. And since May of 2022, we've seen a 36% increase in the price of the Cheers beverage package on Carnival. Now, many people were kind of shocked by this from Carnival because there was absolutely no fair warning. They didn't say, hey, we're going to give you a week, you got to buy it, and it'll increase. Nope, it's effective immediately. So if you didn't buy it during the Black Friday because they never offer deals, they don't compared to other cruise lines, well, unfortunately, you just got a 16% increase. And what's the crazy thing is they made no changes, so it's still 15 drinks per 24 hours. Quite honestly, it's one of the more expensive beverage packages on any of the cruise lines. It used to be Royal Caribbean, other cruise lines, and Carnival was always thought to have a pretty good deal on theirs. Not anymore. Would you pay $82.54 a day for a 15-drink alcoholic drink limit? Let me know in the comments. So before I get to cruise story number 3, I would ask that you please like this video and consider subscribing as it does help the channel grow. If you could do that for me, I would greatly appreciate it. Thanks so much. So cruise story number 3, why do people think this is okay? These are 3 new pictures from the last couple days of people that are in public places on their cruise ships that decide to take their shoes off and stick them up on chair backs, in chairs and cafes, and this gentleman was in the theater and had just his socks up on the back of the chairs. Folks, I've said it and I'll say it again, feet stink. They don't smell like roses. No one wants to see them when they're trying to watch something in the theater or they're trying to eat. It's gross. Why on earth do people think this is okay? And the thing that blows me away even more so, these aren't young kids. These are older people. You know better. I would hope, at least. Have some manners. Have some etiquette. Stop doing stuff like this. It's just gross. What do you guys think about this? So I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you again so much for the continued support. And until I talk to you soon, happy cruising.